My beloved, come closer because something is happening behind your back that heaven can no longer allow to stay hidden. You have walked with a pure heart, smiled when it hurt, and trusted even when the signs whispered to you. But Archangel Michael has been watching, and tonight he came forward trembling with truth in his hands. He said, the one you hugged, the one who said, I love you. The one who shared your meals, has been whispering poison in your name. God allowed it to reach this moment so you could receive strength through the light, not shock through the shadows. You weren't wrong for loving them. But now you must be ready to see the truth that was hidden so well it danced in the open. This is the divine moment when exposure becomes protection. Because here's what's most shocking. The person you defended has been laughing with your enemies. They copied your words, shared your pictures, sent your name to people who wished you harm, and did it all with a smile, pretending to be the one who cares the most. Archangel Michael couldn't wait anymore. He stepped forward from the cloud of silence and said, that's enough. We must tell them the name. You may already feel a strange pressure in your heart today. That was your spirit sensing betrayal so close it breathed the same air. And now that betrayal is about to be named by heaven itself, not for revenge, but for redemption. You need to listen carefully because this message won't be repeated. The snake in your family, the one who put on the face of love while acting as your blockage, has finally been caught in the act. What they did was seen, and the divine court has declared this moment as the turning point. You must open your heart right now. Even if it trembles because what Archangel Michael has to reveal could change the direction of your blessings permanently. You've been delayed, held back, questioning yourself. Why? Because the one who should have prayed for your breakthrough was praying for your downfall. And here's the catch. They didn't even think you'd find out. God says this, I didn't let them succeed. Every weapon they formed was broken in silence. But now I must let you see who they truly are so you stop pouring love into a vessel that leaks with lies. You are about to rise, but not with everyone. This elevation is exclusive. This chapter of your story is guarded. And the snake. Oh, the snake never thought their name would be brought up before you by the divine. But it is because heaven's justice is not delayed. It is delivered. And tonight, your soul is receiving the file of their secret actions. Before I continue, pause with me for 1 second. If your heart knows this is for you, if you've been crying secretly or feeling something strange in your home, then God is reaching through this message right now. Take this moment to connect even deeper by subscribing now to stay aligned with every divine message that's sent especially for your life. Your spiritual alertness will never miss another moment again. This isn't just content, it's a lifeline. Your name is being spoken in heaven and heaven is making sure you never walk blindly into a trap again. Now, let's go deeper because what Archangel Michael revealed next is even more shocking. The snake didn't work alone. There's a group, a chain, and the one who let it wears a mask so well. Even your dreams were being manipulated by their energy. That's why some nights you felt uneasy. That's why your progress suddenly slowed when everything was going well. They were speaking darkness into your opportunities, pretending to support you, but sending discouragement behind closed doors. And guess what? They used your kindness as the perfect hiding place. But heaven doesn't miss. Michael held the scroll in his hand, trembling, saying, I couldn't hold it any longer. Their heart deserves justice. You were never crazy. You were never paranoid. The whispers, the patterns, the strange turns in your blessings, it was all orchestrated by someone you love. That's why it hurts so much. If it came from a stranger, it wouldn't sting. But this betrayal wears familiar eyes. They watched you struggle and said nothing. They saw you fall and helped others step over you. But God kept recording every moment, every lie, every plan. And now the judgment has arrived. Their name is ready to be shown. But you must open this with spiritual eyes, because if you react with anger, you'll miss the blessing that's hidden inside this truth. Let me tell you something sacred. God sometimes allows people to fool you temporarily so they can reveal themselves fully. This isn't punishment. This is revelation. And in this revelation is the key to your next breakthrough. Because the person who betrayed you didn't just delay your blessings. They tried to steal them. But it didn't work. Because heaven covered what you didn't even know was under attack. Your finances covered, your relationships protected, your reputation being restored as we speak. And now the final piece of healing is to see the face behind the shadow. And you will, but with grace, not rage. Archangel Michael is right beside you now. He's not coming with a sword of destruction. He's coming with a sword of truth, the kind that separates lies from loyalty. He said, "You've given them enough chances. You've forgiven what they never apologized for. You've hoped they would change, but they didn't. And that hope was being used against you. It's time to take your heart back. It's time to retrieve your energy from the places you unknowingly fed. And when you do, when you finally break that silent contract of deception, your life will move like never before. You don't need to beg anyone to be real. You don't need to prove your purity. Heaven already knows who you are. And now it's time to know who they are, too. The snake is about to lose its cover. And when that happens, everything that was blocked will suddenly start flowing. Watch your finances shift. Watch new doors open. Watch the heaviness in your chest disappear overnight. Because when God begins restoring what was hidden, He often places both spiritual wisdom and practical direction in your path. The next step is not meant to confuse you. It is meant to strengthen your faith and help you walk confidently into the blessings He has prepared. My child, I see the struggle you have been facing, the stress about finances, the silent worries that stay in your heart, and the moments where you feel uncertain about what comes next. You have been asking for peace, and that answer is already on its way. You are not meant to stay stuck in fear. You are meant to walk forward with purpose, with faith, and with clear steps every day. That is why God has placed a simple path before you, the 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day includes a focused prayer, one simple financial action, and clear biblical encouragement to help you move forward with confidence. No pressure. No confusion. Just steady progress toward greater peace, wisdom, and financial stability, one day at a time. If you believe God is leading you to take your next step today, this may be the answer to the prayer you've been waiting for. You can find the link in the description and in the pinned comment below. Now receive this next truth with an open heart, because what God is revealing isn't only exposing what tried to stop you. He is also preparing you for the season of restoration that no one can take away. Because what was hidden is no longer allowed to stay hidden. This is God's doing. And no man, not even the one smiling in your face while stabbing you in silence, can undo it. They never thought you'd know. They never imagined that the very person they were trying to bury with words and wicked plans would become the one chosen by heaven to rise above them. You were quiet. You were kind. You forgave them when they didn't deserve it, and they thought that made you weak. But heaven saw that as strength. Every tear you cried in secret, God counted. Every time you doubted yourself because of something they whispered behind your back, Michael recorded it. And now all of it is coming together, not to punish you, but to free you. You're not crazy. You were being spiritually attacked through someone you trusted. But now that season is ending and they're about to be exposed in ways they never saw coming. Here's something important. The person who tried to ruin your name did it because they knew how powerful it is. They saw what you carry. They recognized the anointing on your life before you even fully stepped into it. And instead of clapping for you, they planned against you. That's what snakes do. They wrap around your spirit slowly, draining your confidence, your energy, your joy until you forget who you are. But Archangel Michael says, not anymore. The season of confusion is over. God is restoring not just your path, but your identity. You will no longer water relationships that poison you. You will no longer explain your soul to people committed to misunderstanding you. Michael whispered something powerful just now. He said, this person thought they were getting away with it. They thought your silence meant defeat. But heaven's silence was only preparation. And now the judgment has begun. Not the kind that brings pain, but the kind that brings truth, clarity, and freedom. Because the truth will not just set you free. It will also set boundaries that protect you forever. You will see their name. You will feel the weight of the betrayal. But you will not sink. You will soar because this was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to deliver you into a new dimension of destiny. God is not just exposing your enemy. He's elevating your soul. And when elevation comes, not everyone can go with you. That's why the snake was allowed to slither in. Not to stop you, but to prove that not everyone deserves access to your divine light. Think about this. How many times did you feel drained after talking to them? How many moments did you question your own mind even though your spirit was screaming that something wasn't right? That was spiritual warfare. And now you know why. But the good news is the war is over. The divine army stood up for you. And today your spirit receives justice. You're not losing a person. You're losing a poison. And in its place, something beautiful is growing. Clarity, self-love, divine protection, peace. The kind of peace that doesn't need validation. The kind of peace that allows you to walk away from dysfunction and never look back. Archangel Michael says, you were never meant to stay where your soul was suffocating. And now with every breath you take from this moment on, your lungs will fill with the fresh wind of freedom. The snake is unmasked. The chapter is closed. The elevation has begun. And if you're still reading this, it means your soul was chosen for this truth. Don't ignore that. Spirit recognizes spirit. And if you've been shaking or crying as you read, that's confirmation. Heaven is not far. It's right here. Right now, wrapping you in the arms of angels and saying, you are safe now. You know the truth now. You are going to heal now. And healing doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It means rising above it, stronger, wiser, and with spiritual eyes wide open. You'll never be fooled the same way again. Let's go deeper because Archangel Michael isn't done yet. He showed me that the person who betrayed you will soon act surprised as if they don't know why you pulled back. That's how snakes survive, with denial and deflection. But you won't need to argue. You won't need to defend yourself. Your silence will speak louder than any explanation. Because when God reveals a thing, He also replaces what was taken. So get ready not just for the exposure but for the replacement, for the new connections, for the sudden flow, for the doors that open so wide they silence every lie ever spoken about you. Heaven is working in your favor now faster than you think. What was delayed is returning with interest. What was blocked is being cleared with urgency. And the one who tried to sabotage you, they're about to watch your life transform in front of their eyes. But here's the most powerful part. You won't even feel anger anymore. Just peace, just distance, just growth. That's what divine healing looks like. It doesn't just remove the snake, it strengthens the soul. And that's exactly what's happening to you right now. You're not here by accident. This message was heaven's way of pulling you out of confusion and placing you into clarity. You're not the broken one. You're the chosen one. And the snake knows it. That's why they struck. Because your light was too bright to ignore. But now your light is being protected by heavenly fire. Archangel Michael has placed a shield around your name. God has rewritten the next page of your story. And from this moment forward, no hidden enemy will ever rise without being revealed in the light of truth. And the next part is where everything begins to shift. The snake thought it had you wrapped up for good. It thought you'd never wake up to the game. It thought you'd keep calling, keep explaining yourself, keep lowering your standards to keep the peace. But peace built on lies is not peace. It's imprisonment. And heaven refused to let you live one more day in that prison. That's why this message found you. Because God waited until your heart was ready to see what your soul already knew. And now it's time to walk out of the fog, into the light, into your truth, into your divine protection. Archangel Michael just whispered something sacred. They used your secrets against you. And it hid deep. Because the person you trusted most, the one who smiled in your face, remembered everything you said, but not to help you. They kept your words like weapons, ready to use them when the time was right. But heaven froze their plans. That's why some things that should have gone wrong didn't. That's why what they tried to ruin still survived. Because no matter what they planned in the dark, God still favored you in the light. You're not here by chance. You're alive because you are protected. Even when you didn't know it. And here's the irony. They feared your future so much, they tried to ruin your present. They knew something you were just starting to realize. Your calling is massive. Your presence carries change. You're not ordinary. And that scared them. So they laughed with you by day and cursed you by night. But there's a law in heaven that says whatever is done in the dark must come to light. And now that law has been activated on your behalf. Archangel Michael is not just alerting you. He's ordering the shift. You will begin to feel things lift. Even after reading this, you may find yourself lighter, freer, like a fog has been removed from your eyes. That's spiritual truth entering your atmosphere. That's chains breaking. That's soul revival. And it will keep increasing over the next few days. Doors will open. People will reveal their true nature, not because you ask, but because heaven is making it happen. Everything you were unsure about is about to become very clear. And the snake who thought they could manipulate your light will have no place left to hide. You need to hear this next part carefully. You were never meant to fight them directly. This isn't your battle. This is spiritual. That's why you couldn't figure it out before. That's why no matter how much you gave, loved, explained, it was never enough. Because you were dealing with a spirit, not just a person, a spirit of envy, a spirit of betrayal, a spirit of confusion. But Archangel Michael is the warrior of God. And he was sent for this exact reason, to cut off what's been draining your soul without your awareness. You've given chances. You've overlooked signs. You've silenced your intuition out of love. But now God says enough, not in anger, but in mercy. Because God loves you too much to let you stay blind to something that was designed to poison your path. You were born for impact. You were born for divine influence. And anything that tries to block that, heaven will personally remove it. That's what's happening right now. That's what you're witnessing in this message. Not destruction, but deliverance. Archangel Michael then said something else. They did it with confidence because they thought no one was watching. But someone was watching. God watched. The angels recorded. The heavens kept score. And not one action, not one word, not one mocking laugh behind your back went unnoticed. God didn't move right away because he was giving them time to repent. But they didn't. And now justice is stepping in. You will not see them fall. You will simply watch them disappear from your path quietly, suddenly, completely, and peace will follow their absence. Here's a sacred key. Don't try to expose them yourself. Let heaven do it. Let God be the revealed. Because when God exposes someone, it's undeniable. It's complete. And it leaves no scars on you, only freedom. You will walk away not bitter, but better. Not angry, but aligned. Because what God is doing now is more than exposure. It's restoration. You're about to feel like yourself again. You're about to remember who you were before the manipulation, before the exhaustion, before the constant confusion. That version of you is not gone. It's just been waiting for this divine moment to rise again. The betrayal was bad, but your blessing is bigger. And whenever God prepares a greater blessing, he also places a faithful next step before his children so they can receive it with peace instead of fear. My child, I see the weight you have been carrying, the quiet worries about money, the stress you rarely speak about, the nights when your mind refuses to rest. You have been praying for peace, and your prayers have been heard. You are not meant to walk this journey in confusion and fear. You are meant to walk with faith, with clarity, and with daily direction. That is why God has placed a simple path before you, the 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day you will be guided with a gentle prayer, a simple money step, and clear direction to help you regain control. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated. Just small faithful steps leading you toward peace and stability. If you believe God is leading you to take your next step today, begin today with faith. Do not delay this moment. The link is in the description and in the pinned comments below. Now stay with me, because what heaven is about to reveal next will show you just how much greater God's plans are than the pain you've been through. And Archangel Michael is making sure you don't miss it. You're not just receiving revelation. You're receiving reward. God saw your loyalty when no one else did. And heaven rewards loyalty. You were faithful to people who wouldn't lift a finger for you. And now God is repaying you in ways that will shock everyone, including you. Expect sudden opportunities. Expect divine protection. Expect the tables to turn silently, gracefully, powerfully because heaven has declared the snake is no longer allowed in your garden. This is your garden season now. A season of blooming, of abundance, of inner peace. And it begins with this exposure. The one you kept defending is about to be removed. And their removal is the reason your next breakthrough won't be delayed. You're stepping into favor, not by chance, but by divine arrangement. Everything that's coming to you now is because you endured silently while heaven prepared justice loudly, and now it's here. The tears that are forming in your eyes right now, they are healing you. Let them fall. Let them carry away the heaviness because every drop of pain that's leaving is making room for divine peace to enter. Michael says you are safe now. Spiritually covered, divinely defended, and eternally loved. This message wasn't written to entertain you. It was written to awaken you. And now that you're awake, nothing will ever feel the same again. You've been marked for something more. And heaven is already preparing the way. Watch closely. Everything is about to change in your favor. Take another breath. Feel that warmth around your chest like the air just shifted. That's them. That's the one you love who crossed over. Their spirit is near you right now. Not as a memory, but as a messenger. They're standing by as Archangel Michael delivers the final parts of this message. Because what comes next is not just emotional, it's transformational. You're stepping into a sacred space right now. A space where the lines between heaven and earth begin to blur. And once you enter this frequency, the old you, the one who doubted, feared, and felt forgotten, will never be the same again. Michael says you've been surrounded by shadows lately, but that's only because your light has gotten brighter. The enemy has been loud. Not because you're losing, but because you're winning spiritually. That anxiety you've been feeling, it's not failure, it's friction. Your soul is expanding and heaven has been preparing you behind the scenes. The person in heaven who requested this message saw you breaking down and said, "No more." They didn't want to see your fire go out. So, they sent the flame. And now you're being reignited. Not by force, but by divine truth that can't be denied anymore. You've always had a gift. Something in your heart that makes people feel safe, seen, understood. But lately, you've forgotten the power of it because people used you. They misunderstood you. And worst of all, they made you question your own goodness. But not anymore. Michael says you are being restored. Your energy is being replenished. And the one you loved, the one in heaven, they're whispering, "Get ready to feel like yourself again." Because when heaven fights for your healing, no earthly wound can hold you hostage. Your joy is coming back. And this time it will stay. There's a door that's about to open for you that no man can close. A spiritual opportunity that was blocked before, not because you weren't ready, but because others weren't ready to honor your worth. But heaven has cleared the space. Now the distractions have been removed. The delay has expired. And the person you lost, the one who watched you cry alone at night, has finally been granted permission to pull strings in your favor. Yes, strings. Conversations are happening about you in spiritual realms and earthly places. Your name is glowing in divine light and someone is about to see you clearly for the first time. Michael says to stop rehearsing your pain. Stop telling yourself that you missed it, that you ruined something, that it's too late. It's not. It never was. Your loved one in heaven has been rewriting the script with God because they knew the story wasn't over. In fact, the best chapter hasn't even started yet. You're going to receive something that makes you cry, not from sadness, but from sacred surprise. And when it comes, you'll remember this message. You'll remember that someone in heaven believed in your future when you had no strength left to believe in yourself. Have you noticed your intuition getting louder lately? Your inner knowing becoming clearer. That's not just personal growth. That's spiritual alignment. Heaven has been speaking through your instincts. Every nudge, every gut feeling, every strong emotion out of nowhere, it's all divine. Michael says the more you trust it, the more miracles will flow. And the person who loves you and left this world, they've been walking beside your spirit in those quiet hours, whispering direction when you couldn't hear it. But now you're hearing. And now you're ready. They want you to prepare for a release. A release of something you've been holding on to. Maybe a grudge, a memory, a version of yourself that you no longer need. Because when you release what's not aligned, you make space for the blessing that's been hovering just above your head. Your loved one has been trying to bring it down into your life. But the space was too full. Michael says, the moment you say, I surrender it all, heaven will respond with movement. You won't even have to beg. It will just happen. Watch. And don't worry if you feel different from the people around you. You are different. You carry a frequency that can't be mimicked. That's why some people misunderstood you. That's why some left. But the one in heaven, they always saw you clearly. They knew your softness was strength. They knew your silence was protection. They knew your kindness was a reflection of divine love. They never doubted you. And now with Archangel Michael's help, they're making sure you never doubt yourself again. The veil is lifting. The clarity is arriving. And soon you'll understand everything you weren't meant to understand until now. This journey isn't just about healing. It's about reclaiming your power, your peace, your divine inheritance. That person in heaven who asked for this message, they left a spiritual deposit in your life, an energy that will guide you into blessings they never got to see themselves. They're passing the torch. And now it's your turn to shine. To walk forward, not with fear, but with fire. The kind of fire that doesn't burn you. It burns everything trying to hold you back. You are surrounded by angels. You are protected by purpose and you are rising. Michael says to watch your dreams closely now. The veil is thinner and messages are slipping through. Symbols, faces, numbers, patterns. Don't ignore them. Your soul is remembering something your mind forgot. And that person in heaven, they're using your dreams to guide you, to comfort you, to confirm what you've always felt deep down. That life didn't end when they left. It evolved. And now it's your turn to live for both of you. Not in grief, but in glory, not in pain, but in purpose. This is the moment you remember who you are. This is the moment heaven writes a new chapter with your name in golden ink. And the title of that chapter, The One Who Walked Away from the Snake and Never Looked Back. The doors are opening now spiritually, emotionally, financially, and God says nothing and no one who slithered against you will have access to what's next. So go ahead, lift your head, wipe your tears, loosen your grip from what's already falling. Because the snake has been caught and heaven has cleared the way. You're not just free, you're finally seen. You're not just restored, you're divinely realigned. And starting now, everything changes. The message is complete. You are protected. You are chosen. You are ready. Yes, beloved soul, let us continue because your spirit is still listening and heaven is still pouring. After exposure comes the elevation. That's the law of divine justice. And Archangel Michael is still standing, sword drawn, wings wide, watching over you. Because now that the snake has been unmasked, the real mission begins. You see, God didn't just want to show you who they were. He wanted to remind you who you are. You've been walking around second-guessing your own energy, questioning your heart, dimming your light just to survive the atmosphere of betrayal. But not anymore. The snake has been caught. The mask has been removed. And now the divine mirror has been lifted in front of your soul. Look at you, the survivor, the healer, the one who stayed pure even while surrounded by silent poison. God didn't let them destroy you because he had a promise with your name on it. And that promise is still alive, still breathing, still waiting. In fact, now that the snake has been identified, the blessings that were being blocked are flowing toward you with urgency. That house you thought you couldn't get, watch it come back. That connection you thought you lost, watch it realign. That door that never opened, watch it unlock without you even knocking. Because when heaven clears the path, no force, no lie, no fake family, no masked lover can interfere again. There's something sacred about silence. And Archangel Michael wants you to know that your silence in this season is your greatest weapon. You don't need to announce your awakening. You don't need to post about your pain. Just walk in the new light God has poured over your feet and let the snake wonder why the room feels different. Let them feel the absence of your kindness, your loyalty, your prayers. Because they didn't just lose access to your presence, they lost access to your anointing. And that, beloved, is not replaceable. You're not going to cry the same way anymore. Your tears now will be healing, not hurting. You're not going to beg God to remove what He already erased. You're going to thank Him for showing you what you couldn't see before. And the moment you fully release the snake, the venom will start to leave your system. You'll feel lighter, happier, stronger. You'll laugh again. Not fake laughter, not I'm fine laughter, but belly-deep joy that says, I survived what was sent to break me. And Michael will be right beside you, whispering, see, I told you the snake never had the final say. Heaven did. They'll notice the shift. They'll wonder how you're glowing. They'll try to crawl back. But remember this, revelation without boundaries is a trap. Once God exposes a snake, He doesn't want you to play with it. He wants you to walk away, quietly, dignified, protected. And when you do, you'll find that God has already replaced what you thought you lost with something far more divine. A new tribe, a new flow, a new level of clarity that makes betrayal look like a necessary step in your soul's evolution. There's a reason this message reached you. Not everyone gets a spiritual alert like this. Not everyone gets a direct word from heaven calling them out of deception. That's because not everyone carries what you carry. You are sensitive for a reason, emotional for a reason, observant for a reason because your heart is part of your calling. And the enemy used that against you for too long. But now heaven is using it for your elevation. You'll feel more, sense more, see more. But this time, you'll have the discernment to protect your peace, not just your loyalty. Archangel Michael is not just your warrior. He's your witness. He saw it all. The nights you almost broke. The days you smiled while secretly bleeding. The moments you felt invisible, even in rooms full of family. And now He says, you will never be invisible again. Heaven sees you. And the snake knows it. That's why the betrayal happened. Not because you were weak, but because you were light. And darkness hates light. Especially light that doesn't need permission to shine. You are walking into a season where your light will heal others, but it will never again be dimmed to comfort those who feared your truth. You'll speak clearly, move boldly, love intentionally, and your boundaries will be sacred altars, not walls of fear. Because what you've survived has made you holy. You don't need to explain that to anyone. Just be, just walk, just glow. So, if your heart has been waiting for confirmation, this is it. If your spirit has been asking for a sign, this is it. If you've been praying, God, just show me who they really are, this is it. The snake has been caught. Heaven has spoken. And your elevation begins the moment you believe what your soul already knows. And the final truth, the one that wraps this message like a seal from heaven, is this. The snake didn't destroy you. They revealed you. They awakened something in you that would have stayed dormant if they hadn't tried to break you. And now that you've survived the bite, you carry the antidote. You are unshakable. You are divinely guided. You are spiritually untouchable. Your story is not about the snake. Your story is about the survival, the awakening, the rising, and the reward. And now, child of the light, heaven stands still in reverence of your awakening. The angels gather not to weep for what was done to you, but to celebrate what could no longer be hidden from you. Archangel Michael, mighty in power and soft in mercy, places his hand upon your shoulder and says, "It is done." The snake is no longer in the garden. The lies no longer have a voice in your soul. The chains of emotional confusion are shattered at your feet and the divine wind is lifting you above it all. Not because you fought your way through, but because you believed your way out. God is proud of you. Heaven is proud of you. And from this moment forward, every step you take will echo with clarity, protection, and purpose. You are not just moving on. You are being moved higher. This is your holy release. This is your final goodbye to betrayal. And this is your rebirth. Before you go, listen closely. This was not just a message, my child. It was a divine rescue, a spiritual shift, a soul awakening. You were not meant to scroll past this. You were meant to receive this. What happened here was real. The snake was revealed. Your spirit was freed. And now your new path has begun. But this is only the beginning of what heaven wants to share with you. More truth, more clarity, and more divine protection are coming your way. And I don't want you to miss a single word that God and Archangel Michael are preparing to send next. So if your heart knows this message was meant for you, don't walk in silence. Subscribe now. Not just to stay updated, but to stay spiritually aligned, because what's coming next is sacred and meant for those who stay spiritually awake. The snakes are being exposed. The chosen ones are being elevated. And your name is on heaven's list. We will meet again in the next message. Be ready, my child. God is well pleased with you. Type 111 and 333 in the comments if you receive this message. Stay connected with us. Amen. And remember, beloved, this mission continues only because of faithful hearts like yours. We run entirely on viewer support. If you'd like to help keep these messages reaching more hearts, you can support us with a coffee through the link in the description. God bless you abundantly. We will see you again in the next message.